Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Nothing major, but kind of major breaking news happening. Been aware of this over the last couple of days, and we were not allowed to release it until this afternoon. And so the news just broke. Mayor Wu, in collaboration with Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, also the MBTA, they are coming together, and she announced $44 million for improvements to Blue Hill Avenue. And while I attended the briefing yesterday, there are a lot of details that just came out morally as a presser. Those of us that are on that media list, we get sort of the details, early, more information, the paper's covering it. So we attended a press briefing yesterday at 4 p.m. and got to hear directly from the mayor, State Representative Russell Holmes, as well as Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, and also the chief of streets. And they basically talked about a lot of the data. They talked about a lot of the data when it comes to safety. They talked about Blue Hill Ave being a hot spot for a lot of accidents over the last couple of years. And so there's a lot of data to basically bring these improvements to Blue Hill Ave. And so I'll just read you some of what's in the presser. It's coming out all over the media, but we want to make sure that everybody knows, for those that may not be tuned into the news right now. And so hold on for 1 second. Multimodal. I heard that word yesterday, and what that means is multiple modes of transportation, obviously. Multimodal redesign informed by a community process to make bus corridors safer, greener, and more efficient. Boston, Wednesday, February 28th. Mayor Michelle Wu and the Streets Cabinet today announced an historic investment to redesign Blue Hill Avenue to better serve bus riders, create safer conditions for pedestrians and drivers, increase the tree canopy, and install new amenities for more vibrant small business corridor. And so when I jumped in on the meeting yesterday, they were talking about their engagement process, and I sat and I listened to everything, and I'll tell you the question that I asked in the press briefing yesterday in a few moments. But they talked about the community engagement process and how they had meetings and focus groups and different things like that. And so if you remember a couple of years ago when changes were made to American Legion Highway, all the community was like, wait, what? What's this? If you look around the city, those white poles that have limited driving lanes, a lot of them are torn down, knocked down, ripped up, whatever you want to call it. And so I listened to what the presentation was around data. There is a goal of safety there. I also am aware, and this is the question that I pose, a lot of people in the community are not happy with the decrease of driving lanes. And so I posed that question, and I named the poles. And what I said was, there is a portion of the community that is not happy with the bike lanes, with the poles. And basically, I'm going to show you all a picture. If I had prepared properly, I may still try to download it. But there is a picture here, sort of an idea of what parts of Blue Hill Ave will look like. So I want you to imagine Columbus Ave. Is that Tremont? Columbus Ave. When you're on your way up to Eggleston, Columbus Ave, over by Demick. That's sort of the picture of what possibly, I'm trying to get the phone out the light, but y'all know this is an organic community platform. And so I think I got it. Hold on. So this is a little bit of what that area is going to look like. And so if you think about Columbus Ave in front of Demick, this is sort of the idea of what Blue Hill Ave will begin to look like. And so breaking news, not anything bad, thank God. But our mayor, Congresswoman Pressley, so our Congresswoman and State Representative Russell Holmes really talked about a lot of there is this transportation justice. Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley is the co-founder of the Transportation Equity Caucus. I'm not sure if that's the exact name, but she mentioned that yesterday. And so actually, let me back up and give you a response. And so Russell Holmes was the first one that responded and said, hey, James, let's say, for example, in this process, there are 10 people in the room. 7 people agree with this revamp of Blue Hill Avenue. There are 3 in there. And what he said was, their goal may be for this not to happen. However, in that, and I found myself making a face because questions and not in agreement doesn't always mean that they don't want something to happen. A lot of folks in spaces like this are more concerned about the process. I know that a lot of people are going to say, I didn't know about a community process. I didn't hear anything about this. And so I had a conversation with someone earlier today, and we were talking about even with platforms like this and others, there's still a population of folks that just don't know about a lot of this stuff. And if they do know, they maybe can't attend, or just for whatever reasons, don't make it to the meeting and don't participate. And so what State Representative Holmes said was that those 3 people, 7 out of 10 are in agreement. That leaves 3 that are not in agreement. But what they do is they scrutinize the project so well that they cause more of a critical thinking around the project. They actually bring added value. And what he said was that make the most noise. And me and the state rep, we're cool. But I at first was making sure he wasn't alluding to me. But it's true. That brings attention to a lot of things, and those that are making the noise, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And so in that, there's a lot of amenities that are coming with this. And so just the timeline from what I remember yesterday, I believe they're going to start sometime around the end of 25. And I also heard implementing through some level of 26 as well. And so it's not happening this year. It may happen sometime toward the end of next year. And the other thing is, and the mayor answered some of my question as well. And I've told people this even before the press conference yesterday. A lot of what we see in transportation change in this city is not her administration, not Marty's administration. A lot of this type of urban planning and city planning actually started with Mayor Menino. He had a bike czar. He was the bike mayor. And so a lot of those major contracts, you're talking about putting those poles up over an entire municipality. Those contracts are probably signed sometimes 3-5 years out. They got to get the supplies. They got to make sure they got to hire, do all that stuff, subcontractors. And so a lot of this was in motion prior to Marty, prior to Kim, prior to our Mayor Wu. However, we do know that Mayor Wu is a progressive sort of transportation person. And so when you hear there will be some levels of more engagement, I will do my best to keep the community abreast of those. But when you hear more about these opportunities to participate, especially for those of us that are residents to these areas that are abutters, some of the good things that they said will come out of this is more efficient transportation. We know that the 28 line is free. And so if you're not paying and you have that dedicated middle bus lane, you're getting from Mattapan to Dudley in all of 20 minutes. Right now, that's not happening. And I will say, as a driver, and I did bring this up. Thank you, James. The second part of my question was, I went out the other day. As a business person, I went to try to go to another business and conduct business. Guess who had to ride around 20 minutes to try to find some place to park? And so it is, things are changing. Our municipality is growing. More people are using public transportation. I do want to believe that at the motive of this is a lot of our community that is growing. A large population of Boston is of color. Don't drive and and y'all know how we feel about the MBTA here in Boston. So the new representative from the city of Boston, who's a resident, that talked about, her biking and observing things and crosswalks and stuff through the years. She was in favor of this and talking about the impact. And so we will keep an eye on it. And the mayor is scheduled to be with us this Wednesday, a week from today at 9 a.m. And so we'll chat with her about this. So just wanted to bring this to your attention. $44 million of improvement. Some of this comes from federal funding. As I said, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley had some influence in getting the resources for this. Just trying to get to any major points in the briefing that went out. There is a community engagement report, and there's a video and whatnot. And so what I'll do is we'll talk more about this with the mayor on Wednesday. But as we get information, as you hear about the opportunity to participate around these improvements to Blue Hill Ave, it is imperative that you get out. And I'm sure these days they're creating ways to participate electronically as well. And another thing, email your city councilors, email your state representatives, email your congresswoman and congressman. I think Mass 7th. I don't know if there's a certain part of Mass that is represented by somebody else. Email everybody that has any influence and say, hey, heard about this. This is what I would like to see. These are my concerns. And more importantly, these are my suggestions and ideas. All right, just to go to a few comments and we're getting out of here. Not going to be long. Good afternoon. What's going on? Ms. Teresa, you've heard. Pam, I think you heard as well. 44 million for Blue Hill Ave. Absolutely. I think that's a good thing. I know some folks will probably say, well, 44 million for that? Well, you need money for more and more for this. Some of the money came from the feds in a budget, transportation improvement. Those things are allocated. And so it's interesting there. Pastor Marion, I hope that some of that goes to fixing these raggedy streets. So one of the things that I forgot to say was that the streets chief talked about the fact that in the interim, before starting this project, there will be amenities made to the Blue Hill Ave corridor. More trees, beautification done in that area leading up to these improvements. So Pastor Marion, to your question there, Miss Teresa, with any of that, will any of that money go to actually fixing street opposed to beautification? That was a big, and y'all know the mayor's the pothole mayor. So yeah, that is supposed to be dedicated. Some of that is supposed to be dedicated as well. It's kind of like the before the construction and stuff comes. And if you drive in Boston, the lower part of Blue Hill Ave by Dudley up until I would say about Quincy Street over the past year? It's not transportation. I actually think it's a utility, either water or electricity or gas. They've been ripping up that part of Blue Hill Ave. Now, from what I understand in the briefing yesterday, these major changes are really going to be focused from Grove Hall all the way up to Mattapan. And so I'm sure there'll be other Warren Street will be well, I'm not sure. I hope that parts of the area around Blue Hill Ave will be beautified, fixed, and everything as well. So breaking news, $44 million. Aaron said, all I'm hearing is our mayor is continuing to make reinvestment in our city, got $1 million investments to White Stadium. And now that's it. And I mean, these are in investments that are being made and they go beyond, some people will say, oh, y'all are forcing it, putting equity to everything. A lot of people that suffer the most from the impact of inequities are on public transportation. I don't have any data, but I've been in this community, lived it. So, and I'm a driver, and I'll be honest, I feel some sort of way. And the mayor said it yesterday. For some people that, coming out the pandemic and these improvements are done, and then you go on you go to drive down the street and things change. And you're like, oh, wait, what? Some of this stuff with these streets changing, I'm not in favor. And I'll be honest and transparent. As much as I'm connected, some of the meetings and stuff I didn't know about early on American Legion Highway. Some I didn't know, and it wasn't a priority for me. I got to keep rent paid. Hustle. And that's real. And so those that are most impacted by a lot of inequities in this world use public transportation. And we know that the MBTA, I don't have any coffee here to drink, so Thank you, Erin, for that reminder. For those that are over on IG, let me just check any comments here. I believe Boston needs a major upgrade or overhaul. Brother Will, always looking out for me when I'm out at Encore. Pops, Anthony Davis Sr. I'm playing. I'm not going to read that. He's just watching from work. We'll leave that there. And so we got everybody on Instagram, got the comments on Facebook as well. And so 44 million. Will, the MBTA is interesting. $44 million. Auntie Paul, we're about Auntie Paula, I miss you commenting in often. Auntie Paula, I missed the beginning, but are they planning to put in them dang bike lanes and eliminating parking spaces businesses need for their customers and residents need for parking and eliminating lanes like Seaver? And I brought that up. And so the response, thank you for asking that, because I can't remember everything from the briefing. What the mayor's, and that was, she was responding to my question. One of the things that she said was that right now we have dedicated bus lanes. You add up, a bus lane right now probably takes up what, 3 or 4 car spaces. And so if you put the bus lane in the middle, what they're proposing is that you free up bus lanes that are what, like 1 on every block. And so it's real. Paula, I brought up the thing of being a business person, going to another business and taking 20 minutes to, I don't get on a bus. I drive. And so we need, when we talk about transportation equity, it's the drivers too, the bikers, the bus riders, and the drivers. Shoot. All right. That's it for me. We're all set here. Instagram, comments on Facebook. So the number one thing I need to stress to you is that as information comes out and you hear about the ability to give input on this process, do your best to participate. Real Boston Media, Jimmy posted about this a minute ago. They are not happy, still mad about Jackson Square and Eggleston. Auntie Paula said the same thing. So let me go over to Real Boston Media real quick and tell y'all some of the commentary that's coming on. I don't know if I'll be able to read it all. All right. Shout out to the Real Boston Media for making sure we are making sure we get all type of information out there and some entertainment as well. All right. What am I looking for? Okay, here we go. If you saw that error, no, you really didn't. Okay, he must have edited something. All right, let's go to the comments. This is such a wild. That's the wrong one. All right, repost. Let me see from the repost what the comments are when they repost it. Mayor will just announce that they are putting in a bus lane on Bill Hill Ave like they did for Jackson Square and Eggleston. All right. All right, I can't get to it. So I mean, I said it yesterday. I told the folks that were on the press conference, I'm like, there is a population of Bostonians that are not happy about the street changes. And so how do their voices get incorporated into, this redesign? So we'll talk more with the mayor about it. We'll talk more with the mayor about it on Wednesday, March 6th. Hold on. Get my dates together. We'll talk with the mayor on Wednesday, March 6th at 9 a.m. We'll mention this to her when she comes on. Pastor Marion said, I personally like the reduced driving lanes. It slows up the crazy drivers. I agree with one part. It slows up. Yeah. We'll talk more about this on Wednesday with the mayor. Coming up Columbus Ave sometimes. If you're familiar with driving on certain streets in this city where there used to be 2 or 3 lanes and now there's 1.5. And then some dude was the other day riding a bike in the middle of the street and everything within me went, you got your whole. The other thing that's interesting is, and I'm going to be very transparent. I was crossing the street the other day and I've told myself, I'm not looking both ways when I cross a bike lane. I'm crossing the street the other day down near Back Bay. I crossed the regular street, got to the little median, saw the little arrows, and literally said, they have two-way traffic. And that's not here. I mean, not just here. I've seen it in Rhode Island. I've seen it a couple. All right. So where the phone buzzing? I can't see everything that you see because I'm not on your page, but I'm trying to just go see what they're saying on the Real Boston media. Getting these comments here. Why can't I see them? Oh, well. All right, folks, we're getting ready to get off of here. Breaking news: $44 million investment made. There are different opinions about it, but all in all, I know from a driver's perspective, it's interesting, but we want to, as I said before, the most impacted by a lot of the inequities. A lot of those, a good large percentage are on public transportation. And so they deserve transportation justice and equity. Breaking news: bus lanes for the Silver Line have been added to the next. I See Real has jokes. For those of you that know why, okay. For those of you that wondering why I just fell out, okay. Hold on. Why can't I see you? Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right, here we go with some of the responses from Real Boston Media. The next mayor going to spend their first year or so trying to undo what Mayor Wu done did, rightfully so. Boston, it's been brought to my attention that the Sinclair is a lot. Huh? All right. Destroying the city. I don't know what tweet that was. Destroying the city like a true. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Some of the comments. Oh, so this is on. I'm looking on your Twitter. I should be on your Instagram. A very entertaining comment is, now y'all gonna mess up not Instagram. Y'all gonna mess up Carnival. Carnival's on one side of the street already anyway. We also got to know that some of these people, Real Boston Media has a very broad spectrum of followers, and some of the folks that enjoy what he does, they also, couple of them, because I've seen them comments. Their philosophy on equity is interesting. I'll leave that there. DJ Double is in the room. What's up, brother? We're talking about transportation equity. $44 million just dropped. And the Real Boston Media asked me, is the MBTA going to put a quick Silver Line? Actually, the Silver Line already goes down. Well, we already know that. That's interesting. All right. What did he say again? Breaking news: bus lanes for the Silver Line have been added next to Temple Place. That's a whole another comment. All right, folks. $44 million dedicated to transportation improvements on Blue Hill Ave. Again, stay engaged. As more opportunities for community input and then trust and believe. And once this really gets out there, the Real Boston Media done put it on. Others, I'm sure Stackle's going to retweet it or whatever. Bruh. Oh no, I seen the comments. Real. I'm some of them I'm not going to read online. Right now, if it was after dark, maybe, but Jesus Lord. But the number one for me is you going to F up Carnival. Carnival's already on one side of the street. So, all right. There's talk about gentrification and whatnot. So, I'm not displaying any, opinion right now. Y'all know I lean more toward the driver's side. If you have any opinion, input, or support, or ideas, you engage. This is why we as much as possible try to get people to go to these meetings when you know about them. And it isn't just on the, this, y'all gonna say I'm capping for the mayor. No, before Java with Jimmy, Carlos, and all of us, your elected officials should keep you informed about any and everything that's going on. First tier, your district city councilor, then your at-larges, then your state representatives, then your state senators. Then you have the Suffolk County that plays a role in there. You have the DA and the sheriff. Not, we need to have more engagement with the DA. And I'll just leave that right there. And then you have your state level. And then you have your congressional level, which is federal. And so as much as you can, with life be lifing, with the kids be kidding, and everything that's going on, the same energy that it takes to respond to a tweet, let's keep it real. You may have not found out until you saw a tweet or something on Instagram. Shout out again to the Real Boston Media. But shift that energy. Go on Google for a minute. Google who are my local elected officials. Click that link. Navigate to the city. And usually on these folks' profiles, they have a hyperlink to their email. Now, I'll tell you a secret. If you haven't voted and you don't donate, some of them, when they send out their email blasts, they only go to people who have engaged with them in email, that have came to an event and registered, or have emailed them directly. Staff snatch all those email addresses and blast stuff out. And so if you're not engaged, at least you doing that once you get on their email list. And so you find out about meetings and you find out about things. When there are some that are keeping us abreast, but this is a major change. And so our district, our at-large, our state reps, our state senators, Congress, these are elected officials. Congress, yes, to some extent, but they're at the federal level. And so, your first line of defense is your district counselor. Your second line of defense is an at-large, maybe. And then your third and fourth line are your state representatives and your state senators. So I'm ready to go get off of here, because I just wanted to make sure. The thing is, I'll be honest, I had to hold on to it for a little bit because we got word of it. And then, this journalism and press space, it's just very interesting. So, but in all seriousness, engage when you can. Sister Soraya is saying those people been working on the street since COVID began, and they haven't left. And they haven't left that spot yet. Uh-oh. I'm checking right now. Heidi is saying, I missed the discussion. I don't support this nonsense of bike lanes. So it's not just bike lanes. And it's not just bike lanes. It's also, there will be a center, all right. Crap. All right. Phone's blowing up. All right. I'm supposed to be going into Instagram, find out what Real sent over. Hold on. Oh, I'm about to see the comments. It's somebody brings up the point of we need a pharmacy and things like, well, first. So sometimes when I see stuff like that, because I know it's not cap, it's just municipalities don't build pharmacies. The last municipal pharmacy that was in the city of Boston was the pharmacy at City Hospital eons ago. And then that got merged to BU, and now we have Boston Medical Center. So fun fact there. All right, I'm getting off of here. I ain't even supposed to be on there. I ain't did this in a while. Rich, what's up, brother? Good to see you in the room. So it's so funny. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Now I can't tell MJ Fit. I can't tell by the appreciate you too. Can't tell by the screen name, but appreciate you too, brother. Over on Instagram, my mother said Blue Hill Lab, that's going to be crazy unless they take out the island. And Ma, that's what my mother. Ma, that's what they're going to do. They're going to take out the island in some point. Now, not the whole island. The best thing that I can tell you, if you want to get a picture of what Blue Hill Ave has the potential to look like around 2026, is Columbus Ave. That's a potential of what this will look like. Certain parts of Blue Hill Ave are even bigger. The mayor mentioned yesterday that there will need, and one of the things I got to say, they're doing it block by block. I mean, maybe not block by block, but you know, they're not just going to do one blanket, Mattapan, the Grove Hall, and every intersection and corner is going to look the same. She stated yesterday that there are certain parts of Blue Hill Ave that are big. There are certain parts of Blue Hill Ave that are small. And so but again, I can't reiterate enough. If and when you do hear about opportunities to engage and come with concerns, and if you do support it, lend your support. But also, if you have concerns, come with some ideas around, okay, this is my concern, and this is what I think we should do to address my concern. And you'll find out that, one, you may not be the only one with the concern, and two, you put your idea out there, someone hears it, y'all come together, State Representative Holmes hears it and presents it. They talked about a couple of other things that have happened. And when Russell referred to the three people making the loudest noise, and it actually improved the outcome of the project. So come with ideas and suggestions as well. All right. What's up, Miss Leslie? Good to see you in the room. Dina says that over on Instagram, there is a balance. I do not care for bike lanes and feel that they are not used enough to have them. But like anything, it is changing eventually, and we will get used to the change. Absolutely. She also says just adds more traffic by condensing lanes. It does help emergency vehicles just get by without people having. Now, to Dina's point, and I see this with my own eyes, there was an emergency vehicle on a street. Where was I? I'll have to look back at my phone and see if I tweeted or took a picture of it. When you got 2 and 3 lanes, I think I actually asked the mayor about it. When the next time, the upcoming time she was on the show, I've seen an emergency vehicle almost be trapped where people are trying to figure it. You can't go through the poles. If you're on Columbus Ave and you're stuck between where I forget the name of that street, Bradford, up until that street where the bodega is, one or two things has to happen. Folks that are at that light got to go through the light and push aside, and everybody has to push up traffic. If an emergency vehicle is in that block, where they going? So I saw that with my own eyes. I can't remember exactly where it was, but I'm trying to get over and look other people, and there was nowhere to go. So, Dina, thank you for that point. Did Dina come over and hop on? Oh no, Heidi's. No, Dina, I disagree. Was on Mass Ave the other day, and on emergency vehicle couldn't get through. That I was saying that to Dina as well. They couldn't. So Heidi seen it as well. So we got to take that into consideration. Wait a minute, Richard, I said hi to you, but I really didn't know what you said. He said, and Boston Bike Lane. Sorry. Y'all know this stuff. This is the essence of what we did in the first couple of years. Just go live off an issue or whatever. So $44 million being dedicated to improvements on Blue Hill Ave. You can help improve those improvements when you can and are aware of opportunities to engage. And you don't have to wait for the opportunity. Best way, call your city councilor, district at large, call your state representative, call your state senator. Matter of fact, let me put a link right here. Who is my local elected official? We're going to take it to the U.S. government one. So what you do is we're going to do it in real time. We're going to do it right here, right now. So you go to this link. I'm going to put in the comments. It's hyperlinked. So you got it right there in front of you. Heidi, speaking of 44 million on housing, did y'all see that our attorney general is not playing with Milton? Andrea said, She's suing the city of Milton for not complying with housing equity laws. All right, so I'm going to put this on screen. Make sure nothing's on my screen that shouldn't be seen. I'm missing. So in the comments right now, Michael, what's up, brother? Hold on. He said, I'd like the street to just be a little less asphalt lasagna-y. There's so much shade in that comment right there. But think about it. Think about lasagna when it falls apart, when it's still a little bit hot. And then think about the potholes and the little pieces of stuff that can't stand you for that, bro. All right. Let's stay focused. So what you do, I'm going to use I ain't going to use my address. I'm going to use the old address of where I grew up. All right. So I grew up next to Dearborn STEM Academy, 25 Greenville Street. Put your city, put your state. And you put your zip code. Find my elected officials. And boom. If you live at 25 Greenville Street, you know what? This is funny. I'm sitting up here looking at this screen trying to navigate. I need to be looking over here. You got your president. Now, here's where I talk about federal. So let's start at the, I won't say the bottom, but let's start with our local officials. They do county first. And so you have the county register of probate. Shout out to the good sister, Stephanie. Yo, it's so dope to see her name there. Stephanie Everett, and then Suffolk County, Steve Tompkins. Where is the DA? Sometimes, so the way the DA's office is set up, he gets his budget from the state, and I don't know why the DA isn't, because he's the Suffolk County district attorney. So I don't know why his name isn't here. All right, so let's go to city officials. The mayor, Michelle Wu. What you do is my local city. This is interesting. Maybe the U.S. government isn't the best one, because Tanya Anderson should be available here, but she's not. So let's just go through Louisiana and let's go to her. Let's go to the city council. We'll go to the city council. Let me put this in here. Since we said we start with our local officials. This is the link. Real, stop laughing at me. We're having a quick civics lesson. This is the link that you go to find your city council members. So I know that because I live in Roxbury using the address of 25 Greenville Street. Where is Jesus? Those are the at-large. District 7. Oh, there she go. So if I go to counselor, right there, I don't even got to go to her profile. Look, y'all see that right there? What does it say? Somebody put in the comments what it says. Send an email. You put your name, you put your email address, and trust me, you fill this out here. Now, the phone, leave a message, call the office and leave a message if you want them to call you back, because you put your phone number in here, you might get robocall. But you put that email address in here, and Tanya Anderson does, she does well at getting information out. You then get on the list to get information, to be engaged, and find out when these meetings and different things are happening. And so that's it for me, everyone. Shout out to UCB. Y'all get an extra 30 minutes today for being on Java with Jimmy. He said YouTube's the fastest. What, for comments? All right, I'm getting off of here. $44 million invested by Mayor Wu, along with the help of Congresswoman Presley. I'm sure Senator Holmes did some advocacy from the state level. We'll be talking to him soon as well. All right, that's it for me. Oh, live footage of what? Oh, I don't know. All right, I'm going. Y'all have a great day. Don't forget to join us tonight. Oh, yo, we going back to old school for sure, because Java is on 3 times today. Tonight at 6 p.m., we're talking about equity and transportation equity. Please join me tonight at 6 p.m. as we're partnering with Vital Connections. Let's talk about restoring trust in healthcare, a discussion about our history, healthcare, and building bridges for a healthy future. So please plan to join me tonight at 6 p.m. here in the Java Cafe, same platform that you're watching on now. It will be available to you this evening. Right there, if you look over in the corner, there is a bit.ly link for you to ask any questions that we'll be able to present to my panelists this evening as well. Dr. Joe Betancourt, along with Dr. Clark, will be with us, and I believe we're getting a greeting from one of the staff members at Vital Connections as well. And so please join us this evening at 6 p.m. and also plan to join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. right here live in my home studio. Sheena Collier, president of Boston While Black, and also Dart Adams, who is a journalist and researcher and lecturer, will be with us live here in the home studio tomorrow morning, and we're going to talk all things Black. Speaking of congressional level, also on Friday morning at 9 a.m., our Congresswoman Ayanna Presley will be with us, and we'll check in with her about this as well, and get her thoughts and opinion about the transportation changes coming to Blue Hill Ave. Thank you all for tuning in for the breaking news. We'll see you actually this evening at 6 p.m. I did that too soon, for our session with Vital Connections. Please plan to join us again this evening at 6 p.m. as we continue the conversation of equity just in the healthcare space. Have a great rest of your afternoon, everybody. Peace.